Good evening. Evening. It's always evening.
Yeah, it's always evening.
I was gonna say morning. I'll drink some more beer. Hang on.
Yeah, wake up, wake up.
Yeah. All right, we got the space dust going. Um, Good evening. Welcome to Hang Out in the Crib. I am the BP professor. We have our core crew here this evening. We got Tito
Hello, everybody.
and Dr. Death
Hello.
and Hefe.
Hello.
We're missing Disturbed, actually. Speaking of,
Yeah.
But-
Disturbed is I don't know what happened to him.
all right. So
He was disturbed.
he was disturbed. His
He
internet
seems to have
connection.
intermittent internet access sometimes, so I don't know if that's the case.
His internet connection is disturbed. So anyway, tonight, let's see, we're going to talk about Iron Maiden. We're going to talk about the new daily. We're going to talk about Ironclads. I don't know. Did I miss anything?
We're gonna bring up the pandas again.
Pandas.
But that's about
Save the pandas.
Yeah, more panda talk.
Okay.
Is the bamboo we sent them not good enough, and they are complaining, or what happened with them?
I don't know. All right, should we? Okay, we got.
Somebody. Wait. So Tito, are you running the slides or am I?
If I don't mind, well, if you want to run it, just tell me, and I just take it off.
All right. Why don't you? Why don't you focus on Tito and we'll. I'll just talk.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay, so start with bug fixes as usual. Fixed an issue where the wake tactical was displayed off center from where its actual area of effect was. I haven't seen anybody use wake tactical in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think six Injured was the last one using it to get into the bases with that place that he was using.
I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, it's fixed.
I remember using it in raids with. Yeah, it was carriers. Last time I
It
was.
was with the subs. Yeah, with the subs. I remember people using it with subs. I think because it was making them way faster, and they were able to go hunt ships that were faster than them that way as well.
Yeah, but without an actual real use for it, because it has close to a 7-day build, as I recall. It's not something you build willy-nilly.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Enough of that.
Okay.
Fixed an error message pop-up that was showing placeholder when you tried to relocate to a full sector. So
That is not fixed, because I got friends trying to jump to my sector this week, and after the update, and they were getting that box that is trying to sell them something. They have no idea what they are trying to sell, and it must be something scary or shady because it's not even showing a picture of it. But you cannot buy anything, you cannot sell anything. I don't know. It's a sort of rare deal.
Okay. Added more detail for the anti-rocketeer turrets to explain that accuracy increasing specials do not increase the accuracy for shooting down launch pad rockets. So, yeah, I saw some people complaining recently. Maybe it was even Renato in one of those private groups that his accuracy increasing specials weren't working on his anti-rocketeer.
When it first came out, though, they were.
Did they?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Don't know.
Yeah, they
I've never built one, so I don't know.
And apparently that's working as intended that they don't.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder at times if the working as intended is meaning that we have no idea how to fix it, so this is working as intended.
Quality's been in the toilet. All right, and Culverin cannons built on megaships will now properly target enemy standard fleet ships before targeting modules.
Yeah, but they broke it.
Yeah, I heard they're targeting rear modules or something like that.
No, they're okay. Here's what's happened. Okay, they are targeting non-combat modules. Like, so when you go in and attack, right, it'll fire at an engine, or it'll fire at a drone module, or it'll fire at a module you're building. It doesn't matter where those modules are placed on the ship before it will attack any of the modules that are firing at you.
Okay. Whatever. I won I won the drone strike module finally yesterday. Anyway.
The drone missile, you mean?
All right, so let's move on from bugs and talk about, there was a preview server up for a while, and then they took it down early because the special abilities on the Pride weren't working, I believe.
That's the
Yeah.
story.
The Pride became a shame. That's
Yes, yeah. Did I mention recently that Quality's been in the toilet? I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Does anybody know better than, way better than me? It seems like in their like Sector 0 and then the test server, can't they just clone one of the existing worlds and have all the same variables when they make these changes? Because it seems like they're it's like they're taking it from somebody's cell phone that they're testing everything on, and then they go live to everybody on the internet and things are completely different. It's like, does anybody understand why things are so different in the development
I mean,
server versus the test server versus the live servers?
I am back to the theory that they are not testing things at all, because they're just not working right, even in the most basic use that you would think of. You know, they're just it's just not working. The basics. You know, things don't pay the right points. Whatever.
Things don't pay the right point, and you can see that they are not even testing it, because are you telling me that the moment that you take the Phantom flagship, the Hell Wraith, and you see that is bigger than 3 bases, you don't see that the moment that you try to test it, launching it out of your base?
Yeah.
Because that was the most clear one, I think.
Yeah.
It's not that something that kills the game, because it's just the skin that doesn't have the right proportions that it should have. But man, if you're telling me that you have tested that and you didn't see that, I'm telling you something. Take this, because they're going to make better work on you than me.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is they're writing the script for these new things, and they're rendering them, having them run on their computers, their KIXEYE, but they're never put into any kind of an environment. You know how you can do a 3D model and you can have it spin around or move, on your computer. You know what I'm saying? But then if you try and integrate it into something else, it's gonna, you're gonna have different effects. You know what I mean? And I think the only quality control they got is they're running it on a simple, single server, or whatever server it is they're building it on. And then when they integrate it into the game, it's a whole different ball game.
I mean, things have gone downhill, because I do recall one of the developers a few years ago. He's like, "Oh, I just kicked your base's ass," and I'm like, "What? I don't see anything." Oh, he's like, "Oh, I cloned you over to Sector 0 and hit you with the new hull," and I just don't know if they're testing things the same way that they used to, because then I would tell him like, "Oh, test it on this base and that base and this base." But I don't know that are they still doing things of that nature?
Well, I mean, look, Hefe, that kind of a test is a
performance or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's performance, right? It's not. That's is it balanced, right? Is the strength of the whatever they're designing correct? But this is just the basic. Does the software do what it's supposed to do?
But I would think with that kind of testing, you would see these issues.
Yeah.
Like the issue, that none of that this ship had no explosive deflection would have shown up at that point in time.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Okay.
The thing I'm worried about though with this is now that they've pulled it back, and it wasn't working, is KIXEYE going to do like they've done in the past, and this thing's going to come out into the live game way overpowered? You know what I mean? Because KIXEYE never seems to find that middle ground. this thing did not perform at all in the test server. So now when it comes back out again, is it going to perform way too well? You know what I'm saying?
That's a fair question.
Yeah.
They'll probably have some closed preview. Would be my
Oh,
guy.
No, there's a preview on
they-
Friday or Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and it's coming with new effects because now instead of Prideful, it's called the Walk of Shame, and you have Cersei coming. Cersei Starks and people behind her saying, "Shame on you, shame on you." You know.
Shame.
Wait, is
Shame.
the walk of
You're in
shame? Is the walk
You're in
of
the
shame
Southern
actually?
Development Hall of Shame.
Is the walk of shame actually a term in Spain or not?
No,
That's
but it is
something
a
that
term in the
happened
game.
El
That's something-
Camino de Sadness.
No, in Spanish sería el camino de la vergüenza because
De la-
sadness is tristeza in Spanish.
Now, what's
So
it's
it's what-
gonna, no, it's you know that
You're
really
like walking home at 6 a.m. with the clothes you were on the night before.
I
Is
think
that what you're talking about?
I think.
Yeah,
that's
something like that.
But in the game, you know, the walk of shame is when a defeated ship's always taking that slow boat to the tower. So
Yeah.
when this ship comes out, you know, you're going to launch it and it's just going to start slowly crawling towards the tower. That's what's going to happen.
All right.
Warp away. It's gone.
You know what I think was the problem in
know
the
it's
server,
Sector
to be
Zero.
honest? If you look at the prideful special abilities, it says friendly ship range 25. Maybe they just made a type over there and they put friendly ship range 2,500 or something like that. Because if you look at the data mines, normally there is 25.5000. Maybe they just forgot to put that point, and it says 25,000, and 25,000 could be the whole map. So it was impossible to get.
You know, you could guess whatever you want, but I mean, the point is, it doesn't work. And
Yeah, that's true.
and that's what we care about. It works or it doesn't, and it didn't. So, get it right. So maybe we should talk about this haul. I think the biggest deal is it's got a 6th special slot, which is the first time we've seen that.
Yeah, I've yet to meet a girl like that.
Yeah, we tested over there, and we'll see the weapon later, and it was doing an excellent work. But man, if you have a fleet that is supposed to be a blitz and you are using the blitz full of countermeasures just to survive, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Besides, if you look at the main thing of this, it says ballistic and concussive. That will be the blunderbuss and the gargoyles that just came into the game. Are you telling me that we don't have I don't know, executioners, cataclysms, and all sorts of weapons in the inner base, in the inner island of your bases that have
That's what I'm worried
weapons that
about,
are
though.
not
That's
even.
what I'm worried about. They watched how quick the thing died going into a base, and I'm
Because-
afraid they're going to take away the weaknesses of this hole.
Because
Yeah,
my main problem here
penetrative
is on the bottom line, you see penetrative deflection 1,000. I think the Revenge have 3,000, if I recall well, or 2,300, so at least double. And it didn't survive once we learned that if you put fighter support on all your turrets on the executioners or the data executioners in your island, you were killing them.
Yeah.
And as everybody should remember, we did a show about a month ago, or maybe a little bit longer, where outrageously high deflection numbers also mean because the minimum pass through for damage specific deflection is a percentage of the maximum on these type of hulls, on the Conqueror hulls. I haven't seen the data mining on this particular hull, but it's normally 0.5%. So, the fact that these numbers are so high it's a mixed blessing. The higher they go, it's the higher the minimum pass through is. So it's a little tricky, because if you have a 3 million ballistic deflection, you're going to get owned by a blunderbuss. Just because of the minimum deflection.
Okay. So, I mean, here's the thing, right? This is the first Tier 6 Conqueror hull. The idea behind it, right, is that it's supposed to be able to crack these OP9 bases that have gotten a lot harder to hit with these fleets. I don't know that a Pride or a fleet of Prides or a Pride with Vendettas is gonna really do that much better than the Conquerors we have, right? Do these stats blow anybody away?
No.
No.
I mean, my guess is the reason there's a 6 special is in the FM afterwards, there's going to be an obvious special that's supposed to go on the ship. That would be my guess. That's sort of the way it works. But there's going to be an obvious, what we need to put on is that 6 special, and it'll come out in the FM.
All right, so let's talk about the other stuff in the preview. That's right. Tito's running slides. I don't even have to touch my mouse.
It worked magically. When you push the button, it changed them.
Like, wait.
Larry, for next time, so you just can use the cursors in your keyboard and you change them.
But see, I got to touch something.
It's like he's got remote control.
I thought you were touching your kind of beer, but okay.
I'm touching my beer. I got another hand free. Do hand
Oh
check.
my goodness! Don't give ideas. Don't give ideas. Hef is going to become something nasty.
You know what you were saying about one of the ladies coming up, Tito. So don't throw any stones, man, because you're.
Oh dear. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah, remember everybody can see you, Tito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we got this ruins scattergun. I'll freely admit I haven't run DPS on this, so I don't know how it compares to the previous generation of scatterguns.
It worked. It worked very well. I haven't done it either, just because everything turned into such a such a problem. I'll go with that word. That I assumed that a lot of the things would change, and I didn't bother doing things like that, just because I assumed that certain things would change. But the scattergun working with the hull was doing a ton of damage to walls and buildings. And it was able to get in range.
I was using, because the weapon, how many has? I don't remember. I think give me a second. 3, yes, I was using 6 of those because the last 2 were hails to try to hit bases. Just 6 of those, and I was killing every single level 6, 7, and 8 turret you could have behind the walls. And it didn't matter the color of your walls. It was all blowing away with 6.
Good to know.
And I say 6 because you have to send the ships one by one if you want to get this that supposed special effect that we never saw.
Yeah, and I mean you can see, right, it's damage 4100, but its building damage is a lot higher and wall damage is even higher. So
and it has that multi-shot thing, so it's even higher, right?
Oh, right.
Sorry.
You can give it a +2 special. Emission generator, I guess, is the choice, right? Because it builds quicker than heavy barrel. So right, 85 range, which is what we saw with that last group of scatterguns that came out with the Fury. But the Calamity has 85, right? So pretty good.
Calamity is 85.
Yeah.
No, I was saying that the Calamity is 85 as well. I was just saying the thing you said.
Okay, wait a minute. There's a range boost on the Pride?
Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah, you can go back if you want.
20% range boost on the Pride. So 102. That's pretty high. I guess.
Yeah, for a blitzer, it's high.
And the corrosive damage, before you put siege targeting, whatever you are going to put after, you had 60% extra damage just from the whole.
See, that's the whole thing. If you look at these numbers, that weapon on the ship will melt any turret. I mean, absolutely, will just absolutely melt with no problem at all any turret. So if they don't balance it just right on giving it a weakness, this is going to be a point and click.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because one of the things that sort of scares me is the on the hull. We never really got to see it come into play. Is the tactical field resistance with this sort of hull? I mean, I guess you sort of have to have it in a blitz hull. Is it 50%? I think.
Yeah, it's 50%.
Yeah, then you add on tactical field resistance to that.
60.
Yeah, and you get a pretty good number as far as negating glacials and things of that nature.
I think that with Agility System 4 that I tested on the server, I think I was getting a returning of 74% stone resistance and alike. So yeah, you are going pretty good.
So, with the range boost and the attack field resistance and the splash damage reduction, are we reevaluating what we said 5 minutes ago about not being blown away by the stats?
Well, no, because it just melts at this point. But like I said, depending on what Kickside does, what changes we see Kickside do, I mean, that's the problem. They made the hull real weak, so it just melts as if you were driving a gunboat.
Okay.
You're gonna get hit one time and it's dead. But now if they change the stats radically the other direction, then there's not a base that's going to be able to stand up to this thing, because it does have the weapons to just speed past your guard fleet and just take out every building as it's going.
Yeah, besides the fact they programmed it with a cotton candy raincoat. Well, think about it.
Because normally, because with the next special and the next special stacks. So with the next special, and if you stack it with the other special, you get this thing firing like it's a cannon. There's no spread.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, Tito, let's go look at the next one. So this narrowed firing aperture reduces your spread, increases your damage even more, right? So you get like 60 and 75%.
60 from the whole and 45 from the special, yeah.
Right, and 75 when you got the prideful going.
And this stacks with explosive system 4.
But the problem is that you have to play a bit with the specials, because if you use this to narrow your spread and then you use another that increases it, you are just returning.
Does it stack with compressed corrosive canisters?
Now that one I didn't get to see, but I know it stacks with combustion system 2 and explosive system 4, so you can really play and get the splash way up there, and you can get the spread way down.
Yeah, because that special increases both splash and corrosive damage as well. So I assume it will not stack. I didn't make it into the. I didn't rate to get into the preview server.
Yeah, but the preview, because of the problem they got, that they couldn't. They turned it down after, I think it was 3/4 of an hour, something like that. And they took it down to see if they could fix the special effect that was not happening. And after half an hour or something like that, they said that they were canceling because they couldn't fix it. So nobody, I don't know if anybody tested what you're saying, because we were going with first ideas, hitting bases, and if the base was good enough or had enough 3 or 4 cataclysms of those, you were getting annihilated before you were entering. And in other bases, if they didn't have those yet, you could enter and just melt the base.
Okay.
But now something people might want to think about, and I can't, maybe you remember the special, Professor, but came out back when Cobra Scattergun came out. There was a special that came out for your base that you could put on turrets and warehouses and stuff that would give corrosive defense. Do you remember that special?
Oh, it's attack field.
Yeah, yeah.
We never had a use for it in the game until possibly now. There might end up being a use for it now.
Maybe. Yeah. That tack field I always found hard to just find a place to put it, right? Because you got to sort of sprinkle like a warehouse or a resource generator in with your turrets in order to use it effectively. And
yeah, but it also affected walls. That was the interesting thing about that.
Well, that's what it was for. Yeah, strengthening your walls against corrosive, but it was hard to find a place to put it.
Maybe it was because of the energy that at that time was so shrink, but now with the expansion of energy we have on the bases, maybe you can run.
Maybe with a specific design. I mean, I could see. Yeah, I mean, what Larry's talking about?
Put a bunch of EMPs.
I have EMPs on all my labs.
They're so fun now.
You're an EMP? Oh dear.
EMPs
Naughty.
with Cataclysm going.
Oh, you're a naughty boy.
Yeah, all my labs have those.
All right,
Because
anyway.
I guess that might be a good topic. I mean, the idea that some people are using all their labs to put fire support on their main island, and they're putting their warehouses outside. I do the opposite. I have my warehouses inside with fire supports and the EMPs on the outside on the labs.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay. Well, before the problem associated with that is the fact that I still have my warehouses at level 13 just to keep my level balanced.
Yeah, I got my warehouses up, and then I'm starting to get a turret or two up, so it'll balance out. I'm dealing with it. I just like seeing cataclysms fall on people. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, because you get the bonus with the labs of the stun, because you don't get the stun with other things.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
with the EMP blast. And your warehouses get is it the damage bonus or the reload bonus for the warehouses that you don't get with your labs?
I forget.
I can't remember which one, but you get a whole extra bonus using a warehouse or an outpost with fire support.
Yep.
My computer doesn't come till tomorrow, so I can't open up the game and at the same time that I have this open.
All right. So anyway, are we done?
So I can't recall which one it is.
Are we done talking about prizes from the preview server?
All right.
Sure.
Shall we move to the next one?
Okay.
Iron Maiden is back. Well, at least they did something good.
Yeah. So, right, if you didn't get the ironclad or well, if you didn't get the ironclad the first time, then you got another shot at it. Again, the Iron Maiden are the Reaver Armada type of targets. So you want the Tide Seekers or the Hellwraiths or something with 88 range torpedoes. So yeah, got another shot at this.
And the reload bonus with the warehouses, not the damage bonus. And the other thing I want to mention on this slide is that I remember changing it. The current prize pack 2 does not have atomic targeting. And I remember changing this. I just don't know how the old version snuck back in.
You and Kickside both, buddy.
Are you suffering the same disease that they are suffering? Is this spreading? Because I'm getting worried.
Yes.
Okay, I will give a few tips about this, especially for those that already did the campaign. As you can see, you're getting 12 tokens if you complete the 3 packs. And maybe if you have 1 or 2 already built, I was talking today with a member of my alliance and trying to convince him to build a second ironclad, because normally you guys get around 12 minutes hitting the drag bases. Sorry, the drag bases, no, the 97s. The thing is that if you are driving or half driving, and you send each of these ironclads, one to the north and one to the south, each return to your base with 6 minutes of damage, which is 1 minute of repairing and 5 minutes that you get from all your hulls. In 2 minutes, you are back hitting another one, especially for the non-coiner ones. So it could be the way to build another one, because the build that I think Hef is proposing and all the builds that are around, they are all between 11 and 12 days. So that could be one way. The other way around, I was thinking as well, is that for hitting the mines, the 97s at this point, the best weapon you can use is the Mauser, because you blow everything away. But once the raid is over, we are all thinking that even the are getting away from the game, because they are replacing it with targets that could be coming from these siege targets that we are hitting at this time on the raid. And the Mauser is not the best weapon for me, at least, is the Cannoneer. So if you already have them, I would just hold those tokens you have there to refit. I just made the refit, so I didn't change it just on the shipyard. And it's going to cost you to change the weapons to millenniums, but 1 or 2 that you will remain as mouses probably around 4 and 5 days. So just bear that in mind. If you already have the 2 ironclads and you don't need to build any more of them, just hold the tokens, and when the time comes that you have to change the mousers into something better, like the Millennium, you don't need to coin. It's going to be very fast. If you need to build another one because you don't have any other holes to the raids and you can get the pack 3 also, just build it, because I think you're going to be likely 7Ks away from school level, and that's all you want.
But if you're just saving the tokens to refit, I miss part of the end of it. Are you pissing away 40,000 in VXP?
Yeah, but
No, those will hang around.
you can use it
you won't
as some.
build-
Yeah, but the VSP tokens, if you have them already school, you don't need them anymore unless you are going to find another use out of the box for that hole. Because
I'm just saying is because one of the reasons you may not want to build a new hull if you had everything is because you would need to rank it. But 40,000 gets you to about 72%. And
get in mind, it's 47, and you are getting, I think if I sum up, you are getting 40 out of this.
Yeah.
I want to say something real quick though. This slide we have here, this was from the original Iron Maiden. These are not the correct prize payouts.
Were you listening a couple minutes ago?
Well, I heard you say the atomic targeting got back in there, but in Prize Pack 2, there's only one 5,000 VXP token in Prize Pack 2, and in Prize Pack 1 there is 5 1,000 VXP tokens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I put this. I put another. I remember changing the slide. I remember putting in the slide and changing everything. I don't know if something didn't save or whatnot, but I recall doing it.
So
yeah.
Death,
I'm starting to think that you're using Kickside servers as cloud.
I'm a Kickside spy. I've already been infected.
All right.
Yep, you've been infected.
So Death, the reason they did that, and I'm really glad you pointed that out, is that it makes you go through Prize Pack 1 even if you did it before by moving the token to Prize Pack 1. I get so annoyed by that. But oh well. I would love to skip Prize Pack 1.
Well, there are others that were saying that the pack 2 and 3, the damage was increased on the last maps, the ones from the Elite. I didn't find it any difference. I could do it the same way like the last time. I went running the tie seekers from map 1 to map 5 on the first, map 1 to map 6 on the second, putting them to repair during the night, and then on the last one I swap on map 6 to my subs, and then on map 7 I finish it with the tie seekers. So in my case I didn't see anything different, but maybe it's because I am all Cataclysm, and likely on the 57s and on the 35s that people were finding differences. They are using the reciprocators, and maybe those are the ones that got nerfed and we don't know, or they just changed something inside of that map targets when they uploaded one of the DLCs because they overwrite that. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway, maybe it's harder, maybe it's not.
Yeah, it's guessing. I cannot say one thing or another.
Okay.
Shall we move to the next one? Yeah.
So I think we've shown this before, right?
We've seen it in a version. After I don't know if you watched the Friday show, Larry. But
I don't watch these YouTube shows, man. They're too long.
Yeah.
Jefe, are these numbers right? Because I think I have seen somewhere else another table like this, but hey, I can't remember any of these numbers on that one.
Yes, well, yes. Don't add fuel to that fire. But what I've changed here, there's two reasons I put this out. Is number one, with data mining, we realized that all the raid targets have 95% resistance to all targets all damage type except for ballistic. And so I've added that in there because previously I had made an assumption before the data mining that they had 85 resistance. So this is a slight change in the numbers. The second reason I put it in there is everybody that's able to complete Iron Maiden is basically going to get a free build and almost free ranking of your Ironclad. And now that we're this far through the raid cycle and realize that the 97s may not be around for that much longer, how would you build this now? We've seen the A sets. We've seen a preview of the S set that didn't really go that well. But the assumption is that, and I haven't actually hit any of the B sets, so I'm not terribly knowledgeable on that. But what I saw with the A sets was that in the 71 and the 73, splash was irrelevant. There was not any group cannons or group turrets. They were all spread out. So the Mauser has a singular, and then in the 75, there were 3 group towers, 3 islands with 4 group turrets. So that was the only point in time you were able to take advantage of splash, which is one of the it's one of the huge advantages of the Ironclad with the Mauser. And so I put this out there to sort of try to rethink, what do we put on the Ironclad? Do we put the Mauser as prescribed, or do we go to the Millennium as the preferred cannon? And if you make that change, not only do you need to change the cannon that you build or refit, you also need to change the specials, because you don't want to add anything that's going to add splash to it, because you're not generating splash. So your ballistic 4, you don't, I'm not sure how useful that is.
Right. So
I tell you, I'm still using Mausers, but I already had changed the Cannon System 4 into the nuclear accelerators and the high velocity runs instead of using Cannon System on Siege Star System 3, and I am doing better performance. Still using Mausers.
Yeah, I looked at the same thing, right? Tito, we had that talk, and you convinced me to hold my tokens, but I looked at my one Ironclad that I built for 12 days last time, and it's got Earthshakers on it, because that's how it seemed to work out. But yeah, I'm gonna do the special swap to nuke excels and high velocity rounds over the what you just said, cannon.
Especially because the nuke accelerator gets your fleet to 37. And if you put a siege cannon, if you don't want to spend much time on air shaker, so you get that 5% extra, you get 38. And that is the minimum you need, so you can run on the close to that heavy launcher turret without getting all the splash on top of you.
Yeah. So I think maybe, if you built a Mauser from the first time this came around, you might want to, not a Mauser, an Ironclad. You might want to look at refitting just your specials. And then
I wouldn't. I'm not gonna.
Millenniums.
I'm not gonna recommend anybody change. I'm gonna recommend you change your specials, because the specials need to be changed. But if you've got Mausers on the Ironclads, I wouldn't do a refit on that to Millenniums until this raid series ends, because from what we've heard, all the siege targets on the map are changing.
Yeah.
But normally they change to what the raid targets are like.
Well, now, but see, that's going to be the mines. But what's going to be the new Dracu bases?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great question. So and that's exactly my plan too. Just do my 2 specials on that one Ironclad and hold the rest.
Yeah, because more I was thinking about it as far as, people could hold their tokens, or if they want to build another one that's in a different way and sort of hedge their bets, have one that does one versus one that does another. and it doesn't really require that much shipyard time, with the 12 days of tokens.
Yeah.
So, and, as we see, the only real advantage in a raid target, and potentially it's probably the lower level, the tier 4, is that alpha strike advantage.
Right.
The first time it fires, because I know in the tier 5s, you're not taking out much with Mausers in the first volley.
Nope.
So,
or Millenniums.
And then you look at the fact that the DPS for the Millennium is twice that of the Mauser. If splash is an issue, there's really no question on what you should use.
Okay.
Okay.
Shall we move?
Yep. Carry on.
So I took that idea, and this is probably what I'm going to do with the next one. As far as the build, if I don't hold my tokens, if I'm going to use the free tokens, is go with 6 Millennium guns, Panda Mortar, and we'll talk more about the Panda Mortar in the next slide, and just a crossbow 2 for space. I'm not at a shipyard 4. I might be able to squeeze a little bit more into that. So I'd like to, because we got the 37 combat speed, which is what you pretty much get with the Earthshaker build, but you have way more.
With the Earthshaker, if you change that crossbow with the Earthshaker, you are getting 38. And I don't know if the splash of that crossbow is enough to kill the EMP, as I was telling you. So I would run a fleet that is very similar to this one, just would change 2 Millenniums into a Mauser and the crossbow into an Earthshake. And I wouldn't keep the mortar, but I see them to use the mortar for the reactive defense bonus. So with that, I'm not going to say, because 94 and the 50% from the siege targeting, it gets to your 97. We are talking 97 or 97 and a half. So and we know that
he's using that mort though to reduce the repair efficiency. That's what he's using that mort for.
That's right. That's great.
And the radioactive. The combination is delightful.
See, Dr. Death, I was half right, but also half wrong.
Yeah. The repair reduction. So yeah, I mean, you can see these radioactive and ballistic defense. Of course, you can't see it because I'm not running the slides, but 93 and 94. So I really like the balance when you don't know exactly what the balance of your incoming fire is going to be.
If you were not running that,
and to be honest, one is 93.4 and one's 93.7 once you run it through Huggies.
No, it's different, because we used to say from 93 to 94, but man, from 93 to 94 there is an abyss on damage, and if you take that Earthshaker away, you're getting 93 on both, because that's the build I'm running.
Yeah, then you add in the turret defense, and then you add in the bloodthirst, and it's crazy, because the 50% plus the 80%. But yeah, I was just trying to show the specials that you would use if you were going to build an ironclad with the Millenniums as opposed to Mausers, and that was the main point of this slide.
Yeah.
And
well,
and the next, and then go ahead.
Even if you're using the splash weapons like Earthshakers, I would still go with high velocity rounds and nuclear cell. It's helping you more than the cannon system and the siege targeting. It just is. So I don't care what your weapons are. This is the right mix of special, I would say, for any weapons, any ballistic weapons.
I think the high velocity round's the right special for just about every ship in the game right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Vendettas,
Citadels, even the Rhinos in defending your base. You know what is that? At the first shot, you see the constant chain of missiles dropping on him, because after second one, you're already hitting that target. You don't see that missile flying, likely if it was just a balloon. It's just a heavy stone.
Yeah, I'm still trying to refit it on my Cataclysm mortar, and it's not working yet.
No?
No,
Damn it.
not yet. Hopefully soon it'll work on my cat mortar, and then they're not going to be in a world of hurt.
Keep trying. Get more
By
basic.
the way, Dr. Death, I saw in one of the pages, I don't remember in which one, that somebody listened to you, but not completely, and he's still using the transformer, because you can run the transformer with the Synthium and the Pyro. If you just put that special, that it's called solar panel, I think, and it brings you the energy you need, so you can run that. But you go with 50 splash instead of 110. That's
Right.
the only difference.
But you want that 110 splash.
I love the 100.
I want it.
That's what makes the difference. That's why that works. That's why it's the angry cat.
What I'm meaning is that somebody, you bought it, and he bought a part of it, but he didn't buy all the fascicles of that encyclopedia, no?
Well, I can't. You know what? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Oh, I understand that.
All right.
Who's the horse? All right, let's move on.
Should we move to the next?
Sure. Yeah, I wanted to talk more about pandas. The best comparison I found to a pandemonium mortar was the D4R.
Jefe, I'm so disappointed with this slide you have here. I was expecting a lady under bamboo or something like that, but you don't have any.
The first time I reviewed the panda, I did have a little girl. Not a little girl. I had a woman. I had a woman.
Everybody.
I ain't touching that one.
She was petite. She was slight of frame.
She was petite, but there was someone in the chat that day that say, "Hey, we are getting invaded." And say, "Whoa,
yeah,
really? You got scared?"
Yes, that had a panda costume on. So, but what I wanted to show here was this is the best compared D4R person I've found. The armor slightly goes to 1750 versus 1800. Slightly goes to Pandemonium mortar. Radioactive defense at R15. 12 versus 10. Slightly going to the D4R at R15. Repair time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kicker in the whole thing.
No
and
competition.
What? Yeah.
No competition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
and the fact that a lot of ships at this point have limited armor slots, but may have lots of weapon slots. That you're getting more armor out of this mortar than you are at the second to the highest level of an armor
Okay,
plate.
so here is a question for you because you're good with the numbers, Pepe. All right, and we know that the next raid series is supposed to be Garrison, right? And it's going to be a mortar based thing. So what if you took a man of war and stuck all pandamorts on it?
Are you going to point that, especially the repairs?
What would that do to the
tonight.
repair
Quinn
efficiency?
tonight. I don't pay attention to
I have a friend in the council, TSM, and he has one of those, and he's afraid to use that fleet even in the preview, and he's given the coins over there. But each time he sees the repairs,
it's a 3-day repair hole. I mean, so.
I'm
But
telling you,
think about it. What would the repair efficiency be if you put all pandamorts, all 20? If you put 25 pandamorts on that?
So it's still going to take, right? If it's 3 days to repair without armor, it's still going to take 3 days to repair when you put the pandas on it. Okay. Now it's less repair time per point of damage, but it's not going to reduce your repair time from 3 days.
Yeah, how many weapon slots does the Man of War have?
25.
Okay, so you're basically going to add 3 minutes of repair and add. Hey, Larry, you want to do math live and do 25 times 1.18K or 1.8K.
It's 48,000.
Okay, 48,000 armor for about what 3 minutes? 3 minutes of repair.
That's pretty solid.
I don't know. I'm making the numbers up.
45.
I'm doing math live without a calculator.
45,000.
Okay.
Wait, can I? Yeah, 45,000.
Okay. That's proof. That's good as a receipt.
And
But,
you probably end up pretty close to 99% on your radioactive defense too.
True, but
Probably.
that might not help you at all in Garrison.
That might not, yeah.
Yeah, Kicksai is not going to. They can make mistakes, but they don't make mistakes that turn into they getting less coins. No.
But I would love to, I put this out there because I want people to think of creative ideas on their own to how to use their Panda.
Yeah, I mean, Forsaken Mission Tank, right? It's kind of coming to mind as well.
Yeah, it definitely helps with repair efficiency. And in the future, the radioactive defense is a little bit wasted. But yeah, as far as repair efficiency, it's
almost the same as increasing your defense, right? If you bring down your repair efficiency or you make it 10% better, that's like having 10% defense across the board.
Yeah.
Here you go. Bring this for the lower level players. You want to build anybody that's under level 40. You want to build your maulers with this.
Can you get it that early?
I don't know.
All right. Any
Well,
other
the
thoughts?
Panda Morts, I don't know how you get the Panda Morts at this point. I just had them.
Yeah.
I would have to review the
I don't know if
Panda
you
Mortar acquisition schedule.
I think it's tier 4 on the Forsaken Mission, if I am right.
Okay.
All right, let's keep rolling.
Right. Oh, Jefe, I was going to die.
Oh, the other thing that
Okay, so
I didn't make a
I
slide
see some
for was
chests.
yes. Well, the daily campaigns 50 through 79 were released yesterday or midnight. Depends on what time zone you're in. Yesterday or today.
I think it was yesterday after
And
the
they've already been, and they've been put on vacation.
But
So
listen.
Kickstarter says you can go on vacation with this young lady.
Yeah,
She's,
the big
I think,
pro.
in the south of France, isn't she, Tito?
Yeah.
You've
big
met
pro.
her before, haven't you?
Yeah, I thought she was getting drawn again, and I was going to swim to rescue her. The good thing is that if the big pro lasted.
Instant flotation devices.
Yeah, with this flotation device, she ain't gonna drown, Tito. Trust me.
Yeah,
Do you
she's a
think-
lifeguard.
That could not be silicone. That maybe other stones. Who knows? You don't know ever what was the bugs that she got to get those. So here's the thing: if the big bro got in problems, do you think that the second bro is not going to follow the same trail that the big bro did? So who was expecting the daily campaigns to work perfectly well from the start?
Yeah.
Because the big pro normally teaches the small one what to do, and the other one says, "Hey, you didn't work perfectly well. Why are you going to start better?"
I mean, yeah. So right. I mean, if you recall, right, when they released the higher end dailies, right, on day 3, we all found out that we couldn't do them again like we're supposed to do them every day. So they pulled these, right, because they were just too hard for players from level 50 to 79. You had to have Apollos, you had to have tier 5 high-end fleets, or you took huge amounts of damage for these
I
chests,
think that at least you had to have the Punisher and the Rhinos, I read somewhere, because I think it was Ren that was trying to build with tier 4 a fleet that could use these people. But the problem is that not all people that is level 50 or 79 has tier 4 tech still.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the balance was way off on these.
Besides, I don't know if it was Jefe that said what was the setup for the level 75 on the Legion Assault, because that seems to be what they are hitting. And I can tell you, even with Rhinos, if you don't have a proper tank, you are taking a bunch of damage on the tier 8 targets.
Well, yeah. Well, why would they give mid-level players a set target to begin with? You know,
Yeah.
campaign levels are supposed to be based off of. They're saying base level denotes 50 to 79 in the raid is supposed to hit B set.
Because I'm going to say on that second raid that you helped me, Larry, building the tank with the Rhino, I did the tier A's, but I used a grease monkey, and I think it costed me $20. So it was $40 actually that I got to invest if I didn't have that grease monkey that was stuck in my inventory to do it. So tier A is not something you want to play with Rhinos if you don't have a Punisher that comes with you.
Well, they shouldn't have given him a tier A target to begin with, just because the very simple fact, if you look at the raid, if you're level 80 or above, you get, you lose points for hitting B set. But if you're level 80 and below, you get full points for B set. B set is supposed to be for level 80 and below. So why would you give them a daily campaign that's set for bases at a higher level by kick size standard than what they are?
Because kick size standards is a bit messed, and that's the reason that the 80s are getting the S set, because the mega ship at the end of the day was the S set.
Whatever, they fucked it up, and
yeah, I agree definitely that they are trying to do this, but pushing the people to fight a target that is not the one that they are having to fight. But well, we see it even in the low level, in the low players. We suppose that. And that's the other thing that still beats me. It's time that they change the rules about the base level, because it's the depth of the deck you have what makes the difference, not the number in front of your base, because that number means nothing, especially when there were so many people at some point that were so happy to be level 100s that they were just doing what we call the war warehouses, just hitting each other just to swap the owner of the resources over one base or another just to go up on levels.
Oh no, the mods gave an easier way. The mods on forums came out and told the players how to do it in a much easier way.
Yeah, but that's another subject I wanted to talk about. All
no,
these
I'm just talking about
standards.
if you want to take your base level up, the mods taught the player base how to take and do it easier. All you got to do is start a ship, build and cancel it, and then start it again. And you just keep repeating that process, and you'll jump through levels real fast.
Yeah, but then you find yourself hitting a wall when Kixai says, you are too high level. Now I have to give you less points. I don't know, between this this problem that has come into the game since day one, that is the level of your base that means nothing in this game, is the level of the tech you have what makes the difference. And this later on double standards that they are running, I think that they could have done an amazing job last year, but till the end of last year, December, when they started with that big issue we got with the OP9, that some people got lucky and they could use base parts to upgrade to OP9, and others got to wait 2 weeks or spend, I don't know, 700 coins, or if they were lucky and they were still holding those 7-day tokens from that. You'll see that
that's for later. That's for later on, Tito. We're just talking about levels. There's 3 key levels to look at in this game. If you're below level 50, you're safe from being hit. Okay. If you're at level 50, you want to do everything in your power to get to level 60 absolutely as fast as you can, because now you're getting hit, but you're locked out of most TLCs. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get the tech you need to advance your game until you reach level 60, because most TLCs are level locked. And then you don't want to reach level 80, because once you hit level 80, you start taking massive point reductions for any target that's under, well, even in the last raid we saw, even for
every target,
the A set, we were taking reductions. So
yeah, it was concealed because they didn't want to say it to us, like they did in the Hell Strike 1. No, Hell Raid 1, sorry. That in the first one we all got the same issue, but it's something that seems to happen. And so I'm wondering at this point how somebody can be level 1 to 49 and do something in this game, because if you are level 1 and the target that you are going to give you, it's a target that is supposed to be a level 50 for a level 50. Tell me how do you want people into this game if before they are starting you are already slapping them? I don't know. I think that the guy that is trying to bring more players into this game, I think that they read the wrong book.
Yeah, they
Yes.
fired him along with the testers. Okay.
But what is the major cause of level leaping? It's people. It's walls. I mean, the walls are. I mean, the system is broken.
I
The
think
system is broken as far as how levels are calculated. We've talked about that on many shows. But the thing that really pushes people up in levels is trying to level put the walls up to 9, and that's.
But
Okay,
the
go
problem,
ahead,
I don't think, is just the walls. Is the problem is the double points you get from the resources. Because if you were just getting points for taking those resources back to your base, or you could just eliminate that one and just get experience when you use that resources to develop some researches, that could be okay. But if you look how many resources you get just doing the FM each week, and the walls you are taking, that at least you are going to fill the cargo of your ships, because at least once every day, because you are ranking those ships if you couldn't finish them on the BXP. So this game is made so I don't know. I would be I think I will be surprised if any of the months I don't get 1 or 2 levels at least. And when you are low level, that the difference, the gap between levels is so short. I guess that some of these people start level 1, and before they finish the first day playing, they are already level 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other issue is putting your warehouses on the outside. But go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm ready to move on.
Are you going to miss her?
Yeah, but I can keep her up on my screen over there.
Okay, we're all good. It's good to know.
Hand check.
All right.
All right. So salvage chest. I think I saw these chests. They weren't all that different from the higher level chests, were they?
They seem to get about half the uranium or base parts, and everything else,
I don't know. They do look like they're smaller chests than the last picture was, but still, I'd be very happy with them.
Oh, right.
you
I think that the main difference is what we see on the last fragment of the last part of the first fragment that says base parts or Citadel fragments or Citadel tokens. So at least they are trying to help the mid levels to get the tier 5 things. But that's at least is something good from them.
Yep.
Yeah, and Dr. Death, do you know how difficult it is to find a picture like this of a girl involving chest in a salvage yard? It's difficult.
I didn't even. I did not even notice that she was in a salvage yard. I wasn't looking at that.
Yeah, you can play with it.
I am wondering how much boots we give you so you can find all these models and put them on a ship. Because, man, you put them in such situations. First, you cover them with oil. Then then repair your car. Now you put them on your ship to fix your backyard. Man, I'm impressed that you can do that with the small amount of coins we give you every single week. I'm surprised.
Yes. Yes. If you give me 100% more, I'd still have 0.
Well, right. I told you that last year that we were going to raise your price double of what you got last year. So
now I do have a question before we go on to our last couple slides and kill out the show. Jefe, are you megaphobic?
I don't like the 91s. I don't like. I don't.
It's not why I'm asking. We ran through everything in the game, but you didn't put up one single slide to promote or let the community know that there was that the Mega TLC had come back out again.
Yeah, so it's out there. I'm not megaphobic. It's right just now. Like, what were you going to say about it? What were you going to say about it?
It's back.
The Mega campaign's back out.
Well, the Iron Maiden came back out. You know what I mean? We still should. I'm just saying we should have announced it to the community.
But people, Doctor, there is something that you didn't realize. The Mega campaign is called Clash of Titans. That doesn't say anything. But the other one says Iron Maiden. Maiden. That's the key word you have to hold in your mind. Have you seen any male in these slides? That's why he didn't put it.
I don't know. Maybe we
Yes.
can find some hot chick Titans. Tennessee Titan cheerleaders.
There you go.
Maybe one where
See, Jefe, they have to give you tips so you can do a mega ship.
who is this?
live.
His mom again? I forget. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know if it's your mama, your auntie, but man, you look.
Yeah.
Shall we move
All
to the
right,
next one?
let's move on.
Or- I was waiting
Let's move on.
for
Yeah,
Ryan
let's
to
move
get
on.
another
Yes.
monitor so he could get one of these chicks in each of the monitors because he's going to be in trouble.
Well, I like the previous one before this one.
So, screw ups. Well, I think it's maybe a little subtle for some people, but we'll just say it. Quality has been a dumpster fire. I assume that's what you're going for here.
Yeah, it was hard to find at least a semi-hot chick and a dumpster fire in the same picture.
I can only imagine.
But this is the best I could do.
You got your point.
No,
Chris.
hey, I have to say, chapeau to the slice you find because, man, I don't know where you take those pictures, but I tell you, I think you're just asking to one of those model agencies to bring you models and you may take the pictures in the back of your house. I don't know.
Yes,
man.
yes. I have dumpsters lined up outside my house in flames. This is the way I live.
Hefe's
I
house
guess
is a
that
dumpster fire.
if we found your magazines, there have to be lots of those. Yeah.
Hey, that's El Jefe. That's El Jefe's barbecue pit. Come on now.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm making ribs in there.
So anyway, I mean, if you've been sleeping for the last week, I mean, they did an update and the game was down for what 7-8 hours.
Yeah, after maintenance.
7 hours at least.
Players had hundreds of tokens. Their database just got skewed or something. They had tokens. Some players were able to spend them and buy lots of ships that they didn't deserve.
And Kickside did not take back.
Yeah, and what surprised me, Larry, more is the fact that they spent 7 hours, and I thought that during those 7 hours they were fixing the abuse of some people did over those tokens and alike. But that when you tell me that is still on game, I don't know what they did during 7 hours. Because I told everybody, hey, I prefer the game to be down and they fixed all the mess they have, rather than to play in a game that is full of bugs that I end in my base with all my fleets broken, and I need to either wait 2 days or 3 days to repair them all,
But
or
here's
just
the thing.
open the wallet to fix them.
No, here's
But
the thing, Tito.
Fix.
So here's the thing. When they're fixing bugs and stuff in the game, that's when they're rolling out codes through their updates. Maintenance is like when you clear your browser history in your computer. They're cleaning up. They're cleaning it up and compressing files.
Hours.
So they're not fixing anything in the game when they run maintenance. Instead, they're trying to just get the servers to run faster by compressing files and cleaning everything out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I mean that after you get 7 hours and I hit the first base and I keep having the same lag, I'm starting to wonder what they did during 7 hours, because I tell you, they were not cleaning the code. I think they didn't even take the mop out of the room. I don't know.
Well, right. Yeah. And when you see stuff like, you have tokens equal to the number of metals you used to have, they're just having quality problems in some database somewhere. Everything got shifted a line or something really stupid like that. They just break shit.
I'm to be honest, I'm just wondering if we are going to go back into the glitch time in which everybody was glitching, because it seems that now they are even promoting it. Because when you find somebody in the forums that is part of the kick site telling you, hey, if you want to enjoy the glitches from the raids, jump to Sector Alpha where they happen and you enjoy them before they fix them. Or you see that people can have the OP9 done with base parts when it's not the way it's supposed to be, and they don't reset that. And I was surprised that after that, they did that offered with the Millennium, and people was getting 500 coins instead of 105, and nothing happened to there anyway. On the raid, it was funny because they have provoked such double standards that there is people that is doing a live show, is abusing of the glitch, and then he's going to send a ticket because on the first completion of the tier A, he didn't get the completion bonus. So he is abusing 6 million, but that is going to complain for 1 million that is missing. What else can we say? Then you have people that is abusing a glitch to get a lot of medals, and that is the only thing that made them stop these things. Medals, something that means nothing in this game.
Medals.
I don't know. I wanted to wait till the end, but these double standards are even hitting the forums in more than one way. Likely, each time I see that you post in that forum a link to your blog for something interesting that you have post, I think that people should give more credit to your post, because later on your life is getting you busy and you cannot post like you did before. And it's not just because you are here with us, but I think that you're the best of the bloggers we have, especially because you are the first of them all, and people that go to your blog find more info than any other. I don't say that some of the ones that are recently doing blogs or vlogs are not doing a good job, but some others are not doing any good job at all. They are completely full of mistakes. Actually, for me, they are like a comic book when I don't have anything to make myself laugh. It's funny that they even censorship any critique you try to do to them. And I'm going to tell you, have the viewers you have, and other of the bloggers have the viewers they have, because they put effort and quality in what they are doing. And trying to use the funds to promote a blog that is such crap, man. What are promoting here? The crap now from Kickstarter into other sizes? I think that this thing has to be changed, especially when you put a trap to that same guy into a post, and he fall 4 legs into that trap, because we put a video that was explaining a glitch, and he was not even able to read what was about. Because we said, if you hit a 57 with something that don't have malice, you can perceive the amount of damage that you are taking now from the ones you were taking a few weeks ago. And he goes and say, no, I'm using malices with reciprocators. That's the mistake. You're using malices. The malices are killing anything from 35, 57 insta kill without even having a time.
Tito, take a breath, buddy. Take a breath. Go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, but
Professor.
But you see, I am underwater. I'm starting to boil. Man, it's crazy how things are going. Yeah, I'm very pissed. And I'm going to say, for me, there are just 3 blogs in this game that are worth. Larry's, then Dragon's Bane, and then the vlog from Ren. There are other people that are trying, but they are not as constant, like could be BPM Page. But then there are others that I think that they do better if they were not even trying to do it.
It's tough,
because they are confusing people more, rather than helping.
And I'll tell you what, the worst thing, the thing I hate the most is when I publish something and it's wrong. I really hate that, and I try to fix it, but it's almost like the damage is done, right? People read it the first time, and then I don't know if they're going to come back and see me correct it. So I really do try hard to get stuff right the first time, and that's something that makes it even harder to publish when you have less time, because I have less time to make sure it's right. And so, I'd rather publish nothing than publish something that's wrong.
Well, what Tito's complaining about, Professor, and I know a lot of other players have been complaining about it too, is if you try and put something up, or if one of the other bloggers try and put something up on the forum, put up a link so that helpful information can get out to the player base, there is a mod in the forums that immediately buries it, but then keeps his blog running constantly on the front page of the forums. And that's been pissing a lot of players off lately.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when that blog is getting the info before the other bloggers can have it, and even having the info before others make such huge mistakes.
Yeah.
Because, man, I tell you, when I finish the comics and I want to have a laugh, I read his blog. It's the only time I read, because it makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, it's how things are run at this point, and it's not your fault. It's not Larry's fault. Not Dr. Death's fault. What's going on? It's just sort of the way it is, and I don't know.
But back to what we were originally talking about,
because I don't love the mods.
Is that
you don't love
the show?
I don't have much love for a few of them, because they for me the most to start, they are all trolls. because that's what. But at least there are some that are trolling wisely. There are others that don't do it. And I have some encounters with some mods, and I say, "Hey, are you a mod or a troll, or is troll part of the requirements to become a mod here?" And I didn't get an answer, so I guess that.
Back to what we were talking about on screw ups. I want to throw my little piece out here real quick. It's real hard, I'm a coiner, but it's real hard for me to have the desire to. I haven't loaded any coins on my account this month, not one. You know what I mean? Because it's real hard for me to have a desire to throw my coins at this game when I see Kixeye screwing up and giving away all this free shit to these players because of their glitches, and then not doing a damn thing to fix it and take it back or equal it out for the rest of the players. Why should I spend my hard-earned money on stuff they're giving everybody else for free?
But they are not equalizing anything. If not, just look at these people. I don't know who of you sent me one that's saying that the people that is coming now back to the game, they are getting ironclads. And the people that is playing every single day is having to do a campaign, and they probably get the first pack or maybe the second, because I think even Ren proved that you can do the second pack using Tiger Sharks if they have them. But on the third one, or you have the combo of Tiger Sharks with Tie Seekers, so the Tie Seekers with the Hellblade, or you don't have a chance to do it, because you have only 1 hour to do it, and you cannot take the time to do it unless that you open wallet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found it quite amusing that I'm not sure what Dr. Death was opening up. It looked like he was opening up chips or something like that. And then the positioning of Larry was looking over like he was about to grab them.
Actually, no, that was my tobacco bag because I roll my own cigarettes.
Oh, well, he's probably not interested in that. I thought it was chips or something like that.
No. So Death, you bring up a great point. I was actually talking to somebody at work today about this game, and it's like, yeah, it's been going for 5 years and blah blah blah. He's like, don't you think people are tired of it and moving on? And I said, no. Well, they bring out new content and they keep changing the meta and so on and so forth, and try and keep it interesting, and that's great. But what's going to kill this game is the perception of fairness, right? If people who want a coin think that they're not being treated fairly, right? It happened with hackers, and they really tried to clamp down on that. And whether or not they've done a really good job with that is I think open to debate sometimes when we see things. But if the hacks essentially come from Kixeye in terms of people being able to take advantage of such poor quality in the stuff they put out the door, Kixeye's going to kill their own game.
I agree with you 100%.
No, I agree. But how do you fix that once besides being proactive and preventing these fuck ups from happening, what's the best way to do it?
Proactive.
You will have
to software before you release it.
If the toss says that you cannot abuse the glitch, you cannot live out of it without some sort of punishment. And the other thing is
no.
But
they make these.
You have to invest money in a quality group that tests things before you release them, because some of
I agree with that completely. But you don't punish the players because there is no documentation in this game whatsoever. I mean, if they could, what is the documentation on what a glitch is? There is none.
No. Okay, no. You don't punish the player, but I'm going to tell you right now. Kixeye can scan any player's base, right? And if they scan a player's base and see that a player spent 400 freaking ship build tokens in 15 minutes, then they should dang well take that back, whatever they built with them 400 ship build tokens, because they know that was not legit.
Well,
that's the way I feel about it.
They should have never let that happen to begin with. I mean, it seems very simple.
Yeah, both, yeah.
To never let that happen. And that's more my issue is never let that happen. Don't punish the player, because the players, most of these players are paying to play the game. It just seems like they become
See, I disagree with you. I really disagree with you. And I know, and everybody on this panel knows, and anybody who's played this game for more than a month knows that the cap on a one-day ship build token is 2. You know it. Everybody in the game knows
not
that
everybody
happens
knows
too.
that.
Okay, we all know this. So if you got 400 one-day ship build tokens, you know it's a glitch, and you are exploiting a glitch, and that is in violation of TOS. So yes, you should.
No, it's not the violation of TOS talks about documentation. There is no fucking documentation in this game. If you consider Laredo posting something on the 23rd post of some thread to be documentation, oh my goodness. That's just not documentation. They're not.
In the case of Laredo, because I didn't want to point names of anybody, he does help the community, giving the info. He's not tidy doing it. He should start a new post and say, here, clarification from the mod, and he goes with the list of all the things. So people just go there and can read all his clarifications from a single post, not having to click on Laredo and see how many posts and see troll, interesting, troll, interesting, troll.
Yeah, I do have to give credit. I do have to give credit. Laredo is one of the better mods for getting information from in the moderators of the community. I will give him credit for that. He does help the player.
The only problem is that he's not tidy to do it in just an allocated place in the forum, so you can go there, read, and get it all. You have to read a lot of clutter before you get something that is worth.
But the bottom line is, I'm sorry, if you got 400 tokens and you built 10, 15 fleets of ships with them damn tokens, they should be taken away from you, because you should not have the advantage of having them extra fleets that I spend my hard-earned money to take and build.
Right.
I agree.
It's fairness and the perception of fairness that can really kill this game. Just flat out dead.
But they should just hire somebody to do a little bit of quality control, and because they're bleeding money when they do this stuff.
You'd think.
Yeah, I think they would pay that off. I don't know.
You would think.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the next slide. We do have a breakthrough.
Okay.
And we have I don't know, are they playing?
Yeah, I don't think I would break through that. I would,
Red Rover.
I'd run into it, but I don't think I'd try and break through.
Yeah, and see, even you are bringing confusion. You say return the Iron Man. Which of them is the Iron Maiden? Because you didn't put an S to make the plural. So only one of them is the Iron Maiden. The other ones, we don't know.
Right.
Yeah, you just got to make the correct choice, Tito.
Here, you know what? Yeah, I'll tackle the middle one, and the others can jump on top.
Because you put me now all this, and I have to test one by one just to find which one is the Iron Maiden one.
No,
you
Tito,
know how many time and resources I require for doing that?
Tito, you tackle the middle one and let the others dogpile.
All right.
Once again,
this is the kind of strategy you get from this crib.
Death comes up with a winning strategy. Good job.
Yes.
All right, so we're happy to see Iron Maiden back. People who missed Ironclad's first time can get Ironclads. People who got it can get tokens if they want. Ignore it if they want. Yay.
Yeah, I think it was a month ago that they had the last one, right?
Sure.
Sure, whatever. But yeah, I just think that after it's basically a free haul for anybody completely built out. Yep. Even the build I presented with the Millennium.
If you can finish the pack 3, if not, it's going to take shipyard time for you, because I don't think that's because the big pack of tokens comes in the third one is when it comes to 10-1, and you require 12. So if you only get the first and the second, you are 10 days away. And if you're taking care that it has been launched today and the Forsaken mission, and the raid is next week, you don't have time even to build the first unless you put some coin.
Well, now, Tito, all I'm going to say is I'm looking at the first and second, and I would be happy just getting the first and second.
It's not first and second. They just started by the 5, then go to the 3, then go to the 5. This must be.
I was going for 4 and 5.
This must be RNG. RNG, random number generator. I think he
Oh, Kickstarter's random number generator. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah, I think that's the point, because that's not the Fibonacci, none of those chains of numbers. So I'm afraid this must be just that.
All right.
All
I
right.
think we're done with the slides.
All right.
I mean, the only issue with the slides is potentially if Larry, you want to talk about, I think some of the data mining slides that we talked about on Friday when I
Oh.
lost my mic. If you want to talk about those, we can do that.
I just looked them over before the show. I don't know if I don't feel smart enough to talk about them or to have something specific to say.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
We don't have to talk about them again.
Okay.
And Tito looks fuzzy.
Oh dear.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, get rid of focusing me, mate. There is no more else to look for me.
Okay.
All right. Stop
All right.
presenting Tito.
Are we done for the evening?
Should we invite? I guess I could post to the community, and maybe somebody can give us a good for their what is it? Oh, the Tide Seeker. That's always a good thing.
I want to mine some Tide Seeker tokens to refit mine.
They're
They're in the
offering them on
store.
sale right now.
I don't want to pay for them. I want them at free DLC.
Yeah, I understand that.
All right.
All right.
Well,
I'm gonna paste.
to the viewers in YouTube land, the viewers in the future, good night.
Not everyone.
And Hefe will post the link. And
Good night, everybody. Sorry for the run, but I think that it should be said.
What should be said?
all right.
Yeah,
I didn't even remember.
I think you only took like 2 breaths in that whole 5-minute rant you were running.
See, and everybody should know when Tito speaks, it's like a boulder running downhill. The more Tito talks, the faster he talks.
So wait, I heard there's some video of one of those balls in the Target parking lot, like rolling away. Target ball comes loose. Yeah, like the red. Here, wait, I'm gonna find this.
All right, we got more content. Don't go away. We got something going on at Target.
Wait, this is a photo. No, it was like a. Dang it! It was a video. I heard it was a video. I don't know. This is probably not best for the live show. Maybe we can do it in the after show.
All right.
Okay.
We are going to
Well, if
update
anybody like to
sponsorship
join
now,
us,
guys.
if anybody like to join us in the after show, I've been posting the hangout for anybody who'd like to join us. And does anybody want to say anything inappropriate as I bleep you out at the end?
More still? I think I said enough tonight.